Hi guys, good evening. This regarding the PPT and the uh, video recording on your part. So I'm just giving you example. So one of the functions of HRM is performance management, which we are going to take a good look at in the next 10 to 12 slides and about 10 minutes. So if you look at what is performance management is to maximize the value that employees create. The aim is to maintain and improve employees' performance to align with the organization's objectives. It's a group of practices that should be approached holistically. So performance management is to look at how the performance can be enhanced and how it can maximize the value of the employees. Because if you look at the whole total potential of an individual, so he should be able to perform to best of his abilities. At the same time, the organization should be able to get advantage of it. So for that to happen, the individual goals and the company goals should align. For example, let's say if I'm looking at Google, so the alignment is the growth of the employee is very important. So he should work to his full potential. Let's say he's a data analyst, so he should be able to get jobs and do jobs of data analyst, and also look at AI and ML, which very much is required for Google company. So he will be able to perform well in a department like let's say they are going in for electric cars and electric drones, for example. So how the drone can perform and how the electric car can perform and how they can coordinate it digitally, and what is that the output can be. So this gives satisfaction to the each of the employee as well as the organization grows. So the alignment of the individual performance, the individual objective to the company goal is very important. So what is the importance of uh, PM, that is performance management? So if you look at, first thing is to align employee and organization goals, systematic, transparent process. It should enhance organizational effectiveness, enhance employee participation, increase motivation, reward performance, enhance brand name and goodwill, and boost employee engagement and productivity. So if you look at the alignment, which I already spoke in the earlier slide, systematic, transparent process should lead to the individuals looking at the performance and how they are rewarded. How a good performance and efficiency is rewarded is what is very clear to the all the employees, because if the employee is able to perform to full potential and is rewarded and recognized for it, that is the best situation. At the same time, if we reward a person who is not performing, it works deterrent to both. That means the people who are going to work are going to get demoralized, and the people who are getting out of turn encouragement or what do you call performance reward will also know that, okay, without doing any job I'm going to get, so they will not perform to the full potential. So in all the company will lose out. So hence the boost in employee engagement and productivity will happen only with uh, the performance management is proper and uh, working to the full maximum potential. So performance management framework is depending on performance goal setting, that is uh, uh, making systematically the KPIs, the key performance index, or the key performance areas for the each individual, and systematically aligning to the company goals. Then developing capacity to perform, then rewarding the high performance, and at the same time you need to monitor this performance and evaluate it. So all in all, it's a holistic approach uh, that is work as a framework. So what are the good uh, performance management features? Performance management should be done on a continuous basis, not on staggered basis, not on the end of the year. So it's a continuous process. It is monitored by the HR and the line managers together. It should be transparent. It should be easy and smart to follow, and it should give continuous feedback to enable the person to show that if he's doing well, at the same time if he's not doing well, what's lacking and how to improve it by training and development. And real-time improvement needs to be measured, and real-time rewards and recognition to be given. So if you look at, that's what is given in the figure here. So first thing is periodic discussion on Google's frequent performance reviews and conversations, emphasis on constructive feedback, having learning and development plans to be matured, then motivate the monitored performance improvement and real-time recognition and appreciation. So if it's not so good, that means what are the things which come out is the performance management system is not transparent. People don't know how they are evaluated or what's good and how they are going to be rewarded, and it is biased and not fair. Evaluation is again a bad practice, as I said. So it works bad in both the cases, because then the people who are going to work properly are going to get demoralized. At the same time, people who are going to get out of turn benefits will also not work to the full potential. So another bad practice is not being systematic in evaluating this. No incentive for the performance as appreciation given. So that demoralize the performers. Then employee and organization goal misalignment. No proper feedback is given. So all this is bad practice on parts of the uh, performance management system. So outcomes of bad management can be low morale of staff, less productivity, employees uncertain and resistant, bad mouthing, teams and groups formed, ill health will lead to absenteeism, and insecurity and uncertainty will prevail. So this could all be the outcomes of bad performance. So the HR should be very vigilant that the good performance management systems is in place. So if you look at the figure there given, it follows. It's called the Kupler-Ross change curve. So generally, what happens is, why do people don't perform to the full potential, or in the current thing, how they are not able to accept technology? For example, let's say you're working with Google and suddenly new technologies are coming in and the people are expected to be innovative. So so you're not very skilled and the technology changes are not you're not competent enough. So obviously it will lead to anxiety. Then you'll it will lead to denial. Next, then deny in the sense it says you are not applicable to this. Then the emotions could be bad. Then the fear will set in. So all this should happen over a length of period of time, depending on the organization culture, and also it will depend on the the areas on the departments where they're working. So all this, and then the acceptance will happen. Once the acceptance is done, then you see the positive side of it. Realization will happen, energy and growth will also happen. That's why Google at this stage should counsel people to remove this anxiety and try to contract this part up till the acceptance. So this should be minimum, so that you don't waste time and the resources of the company is not wasted, and also people don't leave or exit the company. Okay. So next part is why companies are not able to do it properly is probably because lack of vision. The HR department people are not having the vision, and because of uncertainty suddenly keeping in the last 3 or 4 years is been what you call as the great resignation period. Because of COVID, the priorities of people have changed from working over or bend over to work for the company to self-dependence, and also for working for the family. So because people have realized that death and relationship as uh, one of the fear factors which crept up, and people are now wanting to work from home and probably spend more time with their near and dear ones. Okay. So the other factor is lack of resources for the company could be another, then, or could be the top management is not very supportive, or lack of maturity and experience to realize that the employees are the main assets of the company. And if these assets are not kept, then obviously it will lead to dissatisfaction and resignations. And also you need to get new people and then retrain them all over again. That's going to be difficult. And lack of cooperation of the employees will set in if it's not properly done. And retaining employees will be a major issue, challenge. And effects of the great resignation is happening. Okay, so that's what is shown in the picture also. So let's say a bad culture may creep in, poor management, too few opportunities for advancement, poor health and safety regulations around COVID, no flexibility at workplace. So these are some of the bad practices or why companies are not able to do it properly. So let's take a company like Google. So if you look at the performance management framework, so it's you see the various parameters, that is feedback survey, then monthly checkups, check-ins rather, monthly check-ins, very frequent check-ins are done. Okay, and midterm reviews are done. So you split this period of 1 year into a lot of milestones to be checked in. And the annual review is, so they follow a formative and a summative kind of assessment at any time. Okay, and then self-assessment is one part of this thing at in the midterm and also towards the end, so that the employees themselves assess themselves or assess themselves to see where they're going and how they are doing. Okay, so what more can be done is self-assessment, 360 degrees feedback, annual performance review, monthly performance check-ins, Googleistic engagement survey, upward feedback survey, and how Google sets the goal. So all this is some of the things which Google is regularly performing. And still, even after doing all that, you see now the current rumor is about 80% of the employees Google feels are not performing to the level. See, Google generally pays much more than the industry level. They do a lot of training. So irrespective of what degrees you are, you walk into the Google fold. So you're trained and developed, and they take you slowly and make you flexible. Despite this, the main company goal is to have innovations. So that's the only thing, and having creativity. But they see that almost 80-85% of the employees are no longer creative or no longer uh, innovative. So that's very sad for the company, and that's why they almost like announced so many times that there's going to be a massive layout, because you can't pay so much and not be innovative. And the company cannot survive like this. Okay, so future trends will totally be on innovation, creativity, R&D. Mediocrity is not entertained. So if you look here, so this is, the picture is very evident. The people are wanting to be innovative, but then they're not having that culture right from childhood. So they somehow latched on to the company, and at that time they were required, but then further is now they are facing this problem. So earlier this week, Microsoft, this very recent phenomena, laid off 200 employees from R&D projects, taking the toll to 1,800 since July. Now another big tech company, Google, is reportedly warning its workers to neither boost performance or prepare to leave, as there will be bloods on the streets if the next year quarterly earnings are not come out in 2022 is not good. So thank you very much. These are the references, and any queries or any questions you can ask me.